we're going to go to the website. Here we are, yahoofinance.com. And we're going to enter in a stock. Ford. You can pick any stock you want. Try to pick something that's on the New York Stock Exchange or covered in the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Now, five-year chart we select. Alright, now this right here is Ford Motor, the Ford Motor stock over the past 5 years. As you can see, it's gone up right around 14.5% the past 5 years. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to comparison, compare it to the Dow, and what you see is the Dow Jones Industrial Average over the past 5 years has gone up a little over 73%, whereas Ford Motor has gone up 15% over the past 5 years. So then go into 6.1, Appendix 6.1, Statistical Distributions, and start really answering the questions. Page 183, for example, talks about is the data discrete or continuous? Then start talking about binomial distribution and explaining negative binomial distribution, geometric distribution, discrete uniform distribution. Again, just start trying to touch on a handful of the concepts in 6.1. On page 188, how symmetric is the data? Would you consider this data symmetric or not? And then just explain what's been going on for the past 5 years in relation to the Dow Jones Industrial Average and what's been going on with the Ford Motor stock. And then you get into the last right here on page 195, or page 194 and 195. Are there upper or lower limits of data values? You can see both have upper and lower limits. And the Dow Jones Industrial Average has just been going, straight high, whereas the Ford Motor has been going peaked out in early 2011 and never hit those highs since, and it's been slightly trending down over the past 6 months or a year or so. And then on page 195, how likely are you to see the extremes of values of data relative to middle values? And then what you're going to see, last but not least, is on page 197. It talks about price-earning ratios. We're not going to be getting into price-earning ratios too much, but it's important to understand that distribution models are important when trying to assess risk for stock valuation, stock and bond valuation. Again, the reason why we're doing this exercise is so that you can apply some of the concepts from 6.1 to a real-life situation with stocks and see how the distribution is working. And as you can see here, the Dow Jones Industrial Average has been going straight up, whereas the Ford Motor stock is just peaking out high and low, and it's kind of trending down a little lower earlier this year. So that's how to do it. If you get stuck with this, just put together some sort of rough draft, email me, and I'll get you right through it. But again, answering a handful of the questions or terms in Appendix 6.1 is really all you need to do, because as stated here, it's just simply a 2 to 3 page paper APA format that's double spaced. And you can even apply some of the concepts from chapters 5 and 6 if you want as well. So if you're looking at chapters 5, for example, you can talk about in chapter 5, you can look at sections Just give me a second here. You look at page 129, for example, 129. It's going to talk about sector comparisons. Sector comparisons is going to be if you're comparing one sector of the auto industry to another sector of a computer industry or something like that, or one company in the computer industry to another company in the computer industry. So what you might want to do is for a sector comparison, again, this is if you want to add more to your paper. So we know that Ford Motor has done this. So what you can do is take another symbol and let's find out if Toyota Motor. Let's see how well they've been doing. Now we're loading up on graphs here a little bit. Toyota Motor is green. So Ford's blue, Dow Jones is red, Toyota is green. So as you can see here, Toyota has, for the most part, outperformed the Dow Jones Industrial Average. And so if we're doing a sector comparison, like page 129 of your textbook says, that some companies are doing better than others within that same industry. So it's gone up 88, almost 90% in the past 5 years. So you would have had a nice return over the past 5 years if you invested in Toyota. So that's how to do it. Again, it shouldn't be too difficult at all. Just address some of the concepts in page 6.1, Appendix 6.1. Go back to Chapter 5, pick up a few topics that interest you, and address those as well if you can. And if you get stuck, email me a rough draft, and I'll get you through it. Thank you.